Hi, second graders. I decided to take my computer outside today to do our read aloud story for this week. We're kind of going backwards in our journeys books. We are going to be focusing on nonfiction stories now, meaning they are true, they are real. And the one that we're going to be reading this week is called Penguin Chick, and it is on page 191 in your journeys books. Penguin Chick. And it is what's called a narrative nonfiction. So that means it tells a true story about a topic. So, based on the title and based on the cover, what do you think this story is going to be about? Penguins, right? And not only penguins, but baby penguins, right? These little fluffy guys. Let's get started. A fierce wind howls. It whips snow across the ice. Here, a female emperor penguin has just laid an egg. It is the only egg she will lay this year. Most birds build nests for their eggs, but on the ice in Antarctica, there are no twigs or leaves. There is no grass or mud. Nothing to build a nest with, nothing but snow and ice. So, this story is about the emperor penguin in particular. They are in Antarctica, right? And they are getting ready to lay their eggs. Now, how many eggs did it say they laid? Just one, right? And they can't build a nest like normal birds do because, look, there's nothing to build a nest with, right? The new penguin father uses his beak to scoop up the egg onto his webbed feet. He tucks it under his feather covered skin into a special place called a brood patch. The egg will be as snug and warm there as if it were in a sleeping bag. So, since they can't build a nest, right, the dad penguin picks up that egg and kind of tucks it into a pouch to keep it safe and to keep it warm. One of the penguin parents must stay with the egg to keep it warm. But where penguins lay their eggs, there is no food for them to eat. The penguin father is bigger and fatter than the mother. He can live longer without food. So the father penguin stays with the egg while the mother travels to the sea to find food. The two parents sing together before the mother penguin leaves. So the father penguins have a pretty important job, right? They not only keep that egg in their brood patch to keep it safe and warm, but they're the ones that stay with the egg. The mom goes and gets food because the dad has more fat on his body, so he doesn't have to eat for a while. So he stays there and he protects the egg. Very important job for father penguins. Next page, we're on 196, or these penguins are sliding across the ice there. Along with many other penguins, the mother penguin leaves the rookery where she laid her egg. The mother walks or slides on her belly. This is called tobogganing. She uses her flippers and webbed feet to push herself forward over ice and snow. Because it's winter in Antarctica, water near the shore is frozen for many miles. After 3 days, the mother penguin comes to the end of the ice. She dives into the water to hunt for fish, squid, and tiny shrimp like creatures called krill. So they use their bellies to kind of sled across the ice, and they push themselves with their wings and with their fins so they can slide and get to the water so they can get some food. And here is a picture of the rookery. That's where all the father penguins and the eggs are. Back at the rookery, the penguin fathers form a group called a huddle. Make sure you're following along with your fingers. They stand close together for warmth. Each one keeps his own egg warm. For 2 months, the penguin father always keeps his egg on his feet. When he walks, he shuffles his feet so the egg doesn't roll away. He sleeps standing up. He has no food to eat, but the fat on his body keeps him alive. So, question for this page, it says, what is the main idea on this page? Which details support the main idea? It's our focus this week for reading. So what was this page mostly about? Right? The father penguins at the rookery, right? And some of the details would be that they stand close together to keep They keep their egg on the feet, right? They shuffle as they walk. They have no food, but they have plenty of fat that they will keep themselves alive. Next page, you get to see what the baby chick looks like. Finally, he feels the chick move inside the egg. The chick pecks and pecks and pecks. In about 3 days, the egg cracks open. The chick is wet, but soon his soft feathers, called down, dry and become fluffy and gray. The father still keeps the chick warm in the brood patch. So the father isn't quite done yet. He's still keeping that baby safe. Sometimes the chick pokes his head out, but while he's so little, he must stay covered, and he must stay on his father's feet. Otherwise, the cold would kill him. The father talks to the chick in his trumpet voice. The chick answers with a whistle. Okay, so that's how they talk to each other. They trumpet and they whistle. And the baby's got to stay inside there because its feathers aren't quite ready to protect it from the cold yet. So the father is still keeping the chick in the brood patch to keep it safe and warm. The father's trumpet call echoes across the ice. The penguin mother is on her way back to the rookery, but she can't hear him. She's still too far away. If the mother doesn't come back soon with food, the chick will die. 2 days pass before the mother can hear the father penguin's call. Remember what the mom's job was? To go get food, right? The father doesn't have any food. And now that the baby has hatched, it needs some food. So the mom's got to hurry back. Page 200. At last, the mother arrives at the rookery. She cuddles close to her chick and trumpets to him. He whistles back. With her beak, she brushes his soft gray down. Remember, his feathers are called down. The mother swallowed many fish before she left the ocean. She brings some of this food back up from her stomach and feeds her chick. She has enough food to keep him fed for weeks. He stays on her feet and snuggles into her brood patch. Now, you probably heard of that before with birds, right? So the mom bird eats some fish, and when she gets back, she kind of brings it back up, and then the babies get to eat that food. Yum, huh? The father is very hungry, so he travels to open water. There, he dives to hunt for food. Weeks later, the father returns with more food for the chick. Each day, the parents preen or brush the chick's downy coat with their beaks. This keeps the down fluffy and keeps the chick warm. Right, question, stop and think. What has the father done so far? What do you think he will do next? So what has the father penguin done so far? Right? He keeps the egg in his brood patch, right? So he keeps it warm and he stays at the rookery, right? And then the chick hatches, and the father still keeps the penguin in the brood patch, keeps it warm, right? And he trumpets to the mother to call her, trumpets to the baby, and then he finally got his turn to go get food and bring it back. The mom and dad kind of trade off doing that, right? All right, next page. There's a bunch of chicks. As the chick gets bigger, he and the other chicks no longer need to stay on their parents' feet. Instead, they stay together to keep warm. This group of chicks is called a creche. Can you say that? A creche. Or a nursery. The chick now spends most of his time here, but he still rushes to his mother or father to be fed when either one comes back from the ocean. So now they get to kind of come out and explore, and they get to go with the other chicks, but they still need the mother and the father to bring them food. They're not ready to do that quite yet. Sometimes the chick and the other young penguins dig their beaks into the ice to help them walk up a slippery hill. They toboggan down fast on their fluffy bellies. Just like you go sledding in the snow, they kind of do that too, but they don't need a sled. They just go on their bellies. The chick grows and grows. After 5 months, he has grown into a junior penguin. He is old enough to travel to the ocean. So first they're a chick, right? And now they're a junior penguin, a little bit older. Do you see how their furs and their feathers are starting to change, right? They're not quite as fluffy anymore. Maybe they're starting to get feathers like the adult penguins. Right in the middle of that page. Now he has a waterproof coat of feathers instead of fluffy down. He can swim in the icy cold ocean because his feathers keep him dry and warm. There they are in the water. The young penguin spends most of his time in the water. He swims, flapping his flippers as if he were flying underwater. He uses his webbed feet to steer wherever he wants to go. He catches a fish with his beak and swallows it head first. Now he doesn't need his mother or his father, right? He can swim in the ocean all by himself, and he can get his own fish. All right, last page of the story. Now the young penguin can catch his own food and take care of himself. In about 5 years, he'll find a mate. Then he'll take care of his own egg until the chick can hatch. There it is. I hope you enjoyed the story about penguins. Inside the Google Classroom this week, you have a main idea and details little chart that you have to do. So there are some pages that you're going to have to kind of reread and figure out what were those pages mostly about? What were they talking about? That's the main idea. And then you're going to have to find details that support that tell you more about the main idea. And we also have a fun writing prompt this week. You're going to write an informational paragraph about a penguin. So I hope you enjoy the activities. I'll see you later. Bye.